Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Baal Hashem Yahweh Shai, Baal Hashem Rakakwadash. This is your brother Amar Gabar coming back at you with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit of Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessing to you sincere brothers out there kicking this word in all knowledge and sincerity. So what you see on the screen is labeled bread and circuses, alright? From the root word panam ex circenis, bread and circus games, okay? And I was just doing a little research, going, trying to see what I could come up on. Just going to ancient Rome and just the different practices that the ancient Roman Empire were indulging in. And I came across bread and circuses. And the reason why, the Spirit led me to do this video is because the same thing that the Roman Empire were doing back then, during the time of when, they had the nation of Israel in subjection under their laws and under their infrastructure. The same thing that they were doing back then is the same thing that they were doing today. Now we can compare the Roman Empire, alright, that whole set and that whole empire to the modern day Roman Empire, which is Babylon the Great. Okay? America, for lack of better words. Alright, I'm going to read some of this and we're going to just flow through the Spirit. It says, the term bread and circuses is used to describe efforts by those in power to retain the favor of the masses, sometimes referred to as the mob or the common man, by bribing, distracting them with free gifts and amusements. Okay? And the elites of Esau, Edom, they do that, man. When you look all around you, when you look at the entertainment world, the music, the sports, alright, and the pleasures that comes with Babylon the Great, the people, the citizens of Babylon the Great, they have been taken by these pleasures, man. Okay? Because what has happened is these people have been seduced by the delusion that comes with Babylon the Great. Okay? And even two-thirds of our own people living in Babylon the Great, they have completely left their way of life, these laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, and they have taken on the spirit of Babylon the Great, man. Okay, what did that be? They want to live the American dream. They want to refer to themselves as African. I'm a black man. I'm black and proud. Or like a Latino or Native Americans. They want to incorporate themselves with these different nations. All right, and if that means putting their power, their laws, statutes, and commandments behind them, they're going to do whatever they take, man. They're going to do whatever is necessary to get the breadcrumbs from this damn devil, man, from Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay? And back then in around, when the Roman Empire was at its highest power, we had some, traders from the nation of Israel, that was taking on the laws of the Roman Empire, on circumcising their children, sewing the extra skin upon the penises of their children, okay, eating swine's flesh, profaning the Sabbath. These are the same things that we're seeing in these days, man, in Babylon the Great, which represents that we're living in the Roman Empire revived, Mystery Babylon, as it says in the scriptures. Daniel's, I believe that's the 4th chapter. Okay, Revelations. You see, so the same beast that was wounded is now healed, and the same practices that it was doing back then is the same thing that it's doing today. Reading on, it says sometimes referred to as the mob or the common man, by bribing and distracting them with free gifts and amusement. In ancient Rome, the Roman people were offered free food and various games and activities at the Colosseum and through other means as a way to distract and curry favor. Right, man? So a way to keep in power. If you were ruling the world and you wanted to keep the power that you had, if you wanted to keep the people from not noticing, what was really going on. If you wanted to keep the people in the dark, what would you do? You would provide them amusement, okay? You would provide them entertainment, okay? And we see that all around you, man. Look around you. When you look at the world, when you look at America to this very day, everybody just wants to indulge in their pleasures, man. And that's what America has to offer. You can just go to work 7 days a week, and then when you have a day off, you get your paycheck, which is the FRNs, the Federal Reserve Notes, which are not backed up by gold itself. And they literally give that to the people. It's like a cycle, man. It just keeps going and going. All right? But this same thing that they were doing back then is the same thing that they're doing today. It says, this concept of offering free things and fun distractions, along with a number of other corruptions of the Roman world, in part led to the downfall of the Roman Empire. Okay? That led to the downfall of the Roman Empire, man. Because if you don't have no balance, if you don't have no, if you're not being governed by the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shin Yahushai, then ultimately that's going to lead to the downfall of a nation. Because the people are going to become wild savages. Okay? Everything's going to be completely corrupted. Alright, we're living in a world where people, they're chasing after them FRNs, man. They want that money. People will kill their own family over money. But that's what Babylon has to offer. That's why it's called the bread and circuses. Because while there's wars all around us happening in the Middle East, tensions with Iran, with China, with Russia, all these things going on, the upwards of the people, earthquakes in diverse places, strange phenomenons with these chariots, which the world calls UFOs. But meanwhile, the people are not paying attention. They're being dumbed down by the media. They're being dumbed down by these news outlets. Okay? Bread and circuses, man. Okay? Let's get some scriptures, man. Okay? It's a beautiful thing because as the prophets of Yahweh Shin Yahushai, the Lord has given us the secrets. Alright, to be able to understand these things, to be able to filter, like news outlets like this through the scriptures. Alright? Let's get Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 7. And it reads, And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. And that's talking about Babylon the Great. The very essence of this place and the pride of the people that run this world, the elites of Esau, Edom, the Dew Points, the Eisenhowers, it goes on and on. They believe in their minds that they can continue to rule, that all the wickedness that they have prescribed upon the face of the earth is not going to come back to bite them in their ass. It goes to read, Therefore hear it is known that thou art given the pleasures, that dwellest carelessly. Thou sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's talking about America as a whole. Because whatever the media feeds the people, that's what they take in. Okay? It says, But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in the perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. And it's all sorceries. To be able to keep a people dumbed down, in order to conquer a nation, you have to get them away from their power. You have to get them away from the laws that will keep them, connected to the power. And that's exactly what the so-called white men did. When they went to the west coast of Africa, and they gathered up and they enslaved those that they were calling Negroes, the so-called black men from the west coast of Africa, they understood that those people that they were gathering up and shipping to America Those were the Hebrew Israelites from the southern tribes. They understood that. That's why they kept the Bible from the people. That's why they gave them, instead of teaching them the proper things that they need to know, they gave them bread and circuses. They gave them entertainment. They exploited the fact that the so-called Negroes have talents that can make this white man rich. They exploited that. That's why in the entertainment world, you see a whole bunch of Jakes and Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're the ones who make up a large population. They're the ones who were in these sports. All right, because the so-called white man wants to keep the Hebrew Israelites from their power. All right, but that's all backfiring on this man because we're waking up at a large amount each and every day. Every time these prophecies are being fulfilled, the prophets are out there on the highways and byways preaching this word, thus waking up our people. You see? But this ultimately led to the downfall of the Roman Empire. Okay? So that's giving us insight, which is going to lead to the downfall of this economy. All right, cause we see that these other nations are starting to back up their monetary system by gold. Okay, you see more of these nations taking up gold. They're actually pulling back from using the FRNs, the American dollar, because the American dollar is losing its value, and by the United States putting tariffs on these different nations, that's creating enmity. These nations are starting to wake up to see that this whore that rides on the beast, that she's disgusting, man. Okay, that she does not keep all the promises that she makes, and that's gonna lead to them destroying this you know this whore. Let's get another scripture. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her coastlines. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. All right, and that's the ultimate judgment for America the Great. All right, see, the Lord has a bone to pick to America, man. This is the one place where all the sins have been festering up. This is the one place where the Lord is gonna come down with great wrath upon this place, because all the blood that has been shed here, and all the lies and the deceptions and all the wickedness has been, it steams from America the Great. All right. So people are waking up in these last days, man. The bread and circuses are not working anymore. Okay. People are waking up. We got even people outside of the Hebrew Israelite, you know, exposing the government, exposing all the lies. Okay. A mind is a strong thing. And if the government can control that, then they have power. You know? Then they have power. That's how you control people, by controlling their minds. You see? So, with that, man, I pray you guys were edified. I just wanted to bring this out through the spirit. You know, Lord willing, it was edifying to whoever may see this. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shin Yahshua Ba'ashim Makakodash. Shalom.